Hey, Semper Fidelis Marines, sailors, veterans, and families. Chaplain Carey Cash here, chaplain of the Marine Corps. Hoping to offer some encouraging thoughts to you as we know September is Suicide Awareness Month. So looking in some of our Marine chat rooms, some of our veteran chat rooms, we've distilled a few important questions, I think, that folks ask when it comes to suicide awareness, when it comes to how to help ourselves and others. And so I'm going to try to just answer these as a chaplain and hopefully offer some thoughts that can be encouraging to you and point you in the right direction. Question 1. I just found out that my ex broke up with me for a friend and it hit me hard. I couldn't hold back the tears. The betrayal is overwhelming and I'm struggling to come to terms with the fact that they could do something like this. It feels like a double blow. Losing both my relationship and my friendship at the same time, I'm not sure how to move past this pain. First, when it comes to pain, learn to forgive. You know, forgiveness is not pretending that what the person did was okay. It's actually no longer holding the past against them. Finally, rely on someone who is faithful to you, right? In my own faith tradition, we talk about God never leaving us or forsaking us. Who in your life is someone who will never leave you, never forsake you? Maybe it's a parent, a coach, a mentor. Maybe it's an NCO. Hopefully you have a chaplain nearby, but find someone who's reliable, who you can trust, and who can walk with you through this time of difficulty. All right, question number 2, right from our Marines and sailors. What happens if you are having bad thoughts while on deployment? I've heard too many bad things about those who admit to having suicidal thoughts. I don't know what the process is once someone admits to this, especially while on deployment. What I've experienced and what I've observed over 25 to 30 years in my work as a chaplain is it's not uncommon during a deployment for issues to come to the surface in our lives. Sort of like a splinter trying to work itself out. Deployments sort of have a way of pulling out of us unresolved issues, and it may be it may be a difficult experience you've had, or it may cause you to think thoughts that you would not have thought you were capable of. All of that can be a good thing, right? Like a splinter working itself out, it's an opportunity for you to sort of address an issue maybe that you've not addressed before, and again, an issue that you don't need to address alone. So if you're on deployment and issues are beginning to surface, find someone you can talk to. Get someone involved to help you work that issue out. It may be the first time in your life that you've been able to address a real difficult challenge or difficult experience that you've gone through that you've never resolved before. So find somebody, talk about that issue. Don't bear it alone. All right, and we have question number 3 here. While serving on recruiting duty, I feel like I'm just going through the motions to avoid upsetting my loved ones. I can't seem to find happiness. I'm struggling with suicidal thoughts and want to reach out to my command, but I'm scared of facing potential backlash. Can you offer me some guidance? Being unhappy for a time is not uncommon. It's something we all go through. Talk to somebody, right? I like to compare and contrast unhappiness on the one hand with joy on the other, right? Unhappiness is when all the circumstances are right. Joy, though, is knowing you're not alone, even in the middle of difficult circumstances. And when you're talking to somebody and you're letting them know what's going on, you can experience a sense of joy and even relief that you're no longer bearing this issue alone. I promise you, even doing that, some of the weight that you're bearing will come off your shoulders. The other thing I would say is if you're in an unhappy season, serve others. It's amazing, and I've seen this too many times to count. Marines and sailors who are going through difficult seasons or seasons of unhappiness, they go do something for someone else. They go get involved in a community relations project. They serve in a church or in a boys or a girls club. They do something with Special Olympics. And some of those issues that they were struggling with seem to just evaporate as they gain a bigger perspective. So serving is always a way to combat seasons of unhappiness. Okay, last question right from the fleet. I have a friend who I've noticed has been going through some tough times. There's a stigma around mental health treatment, and many commands might treat you differently or even potentially retaliate if you seek help. At least I think so. At the end of my service, I went to mental health sessions once a week for about a month to cope with stress and lack of sleep, and it helped. I want to help my friend, but don't want to get him into trouble. What should I do? That's a great question. Because how many times do we see a fellow Marine or sailor that's going through a difficult time, and we do want to help, but we want to sort of protect that relationship and the trust that we have with them. So I appreciate the question. I think the first thing I would offer you is, you be that first line of defense. It doesn't have to feel like an appointment. It can be as simple as, hey, let's go get coffee together. And during that time, engaging with that friend and asking them open-ended questions. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what's going on in your life. Practice good empathic listening, and quite frankly, repeat back what you hear. So you're going through a relationship struggle. Just repeating back what you hear them saying, what it does is it tends to unlock sort of the doors in their heart, and they want to talk more and more about the issue, and it builds trust between you. And finally, together, go seek help, right? It's often the case that a friend who's in a difficult set of circumstances, they may not on their own go see somebody, but if you were to say, hey, why don't you and I go talk to the chaplain? Or why don't you and I go talk to Staff Sergeant? Or someone that you trust, someone that you think can be a help to that friend. That's a wonderful way for you to maintain that trusting relationship, and yet help them take steps to actually get help from someone who can care for them in the long term. So in a lot of ways, the solution is friendship. And I love one of my favorite proverbs. It says, a friend loves at all times, and a brother or sister is born for adversity. As we think about Suicide Awareness Month, and we think about challenges that our fellow Marines and sailors are facing, I can't think of a clearer statement of a mission that we all got to be about, right? To be friends to each other. A friend loves, a brother or sister is there in times of adversity. I think this is a call to all of us to be looking out for each other. To those who may be in the middle of adversity, right, who are looking for a friend, whatever you're going through, see it as an invitation to deal with the deeper issues that may be unresolved in your life. Find a chaplain, right? Find someone you trust. I'm certainly going to encourage you to find chaplains, because whatever you say to us is 100% confidential. But above all, find someone you can talk to. Don't bear this alone. Find that friend, find someone who will listen and help you see things in right perspective. And finally, just to leaders, right? To our staff NCOs and our Marine leaders, our officers who are entrusted with the lives of your Marines and sailors. I want to encourage you to talk about these issues. Talk about with your Marines and sailors the importance of reaching out. Create command climates where that kind of thing is encouraged, and where Marines know that they are free in the midst of their duties to reach out to those who can help them. Ultimately, your command is going to be more mission focused, because Marines and sailors will be much more able to address the challenges of deployment if they're winning that inner battle in their lives. So it's a call to leadership as well. Semper Fi.